Now, millions of workers have had to adapt to a new work life, working from home as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, a new study by specialist management company Red Flank shows that this might become something permanent. Several industries suffered retrenchments, revenue losses and cash flow deadlines, or rather declines. For more on this, we speak to Red Flank Director Lings Naidoo. Mr. Naidoo, first of all, I would think that a lot of people enjoyed working from home because you didn't need to get into your car or a taxi or a bus to be able to get to work. But wouldn't companies then use that as an excuse to underpay people?
It's certainly something that I believe a business needs to watch out for, Maseko. The encouraging thing in terms of the stats, as you pointed out, is that while 52% of businesses currently have more than 20% of their staff working from home, they see that at least 87% of those workers will continue working home on a permanent basis. As you pointed out, rightly so, there shouldn't be an excuse for people to be paid less. Just a quick step back, the survey does have other silver linings, but there is a sobering perspective as well that we do need to be quite mindful of.
Tell us a little bit about that sobering perspective, Mr. Naidoo.
So in terms of the survey itself, the BeyondCOVID Business Survey, I think, the good news on it is it's quite representative. So it was a national survey, covered more than 1,800 businesses, covered different types of businesses, different sizes, all of the sectors. In terms of, the sobering news, and this is really what we do need to take into account, just 1 in 20 businesses are operating under business as usual. 76% of businesses have reported a drop in revenue. And worryingly, if you look at the projection going forward, on average, businesses are saying that they will be looking to retrench 11% of workers. So if you do the math on that, that's about 1.7 million jobs that are still likely to be lost. But very important, and I like what your previous guest said, he said anything is possible in soccer. And as difficult as our times, as difficult as the times are that we are in at the moment, anything is possible in business. 36% of businesses, that's more than 1 in 3 businesses, are actually actively undergoing strategic replanning at the moment. And this is where the next step beyond the survey comes in. As Beyond COVID, we are very keen to help all businesses out there. And the way in which we can help is with that replanning process. On the 1st, which is next week, Tuesday, we'll be releasing a Beyond COVID playbook. And although this is not a manual for how to recover, what it does do, and I think very well, is illustrate how other companies in the rest of the world and in South Africa have responded, and quite a few of those companies managing to make good recoveries. So I think the important thing here is that as much as we are facing difficult circumstances, as much as we are looking at the train wreck and considering what to do beyond the carnage, there is and are silver linings, and now is the important time to look to see how businesses take themselves forward.
Well, definitely COVID-19 did show the world that, there are some things that aren't necessary, like driving to work. I remember a colleague of mine, actually Michael Apple, had spoken about how clean the air felt in Johannesburg because less cars were on the road at the time. So I imagine that's also one of the other things that it will help with, the environmental aspect of it. But also, Mr. Naidoo, just one more question from my side in terms of, ethics and businesses practicing good ethics on workers. We found a lot of people saying that, they're supposed to work 8 hours a day, for instance, but because they're at home, their bosses will ask them at around 6 in the morning if there's something that they could quickly do for them just because they're in the comfort of their homes.
And it's something I think we need to be really careful about. Personally, I found that the lines between personal life and professional life blur. I'm probably working the longest hours I ever have in my career. Within our company, and I would encourage other companies to do this, we establish core hours from 9 to 4. So all critical work, including meetings, happens in that period. I think now more important than ever, companies need to ensure that they treat their employees well. It might be that the company is in the pound seat and the employees may be exposed, but we do need to understand that the most important element of any company really is its people. And it's probably the most important time to ensure that we as employees do not take advantage of them. So, and we can help with that in terms of the Beyond COVID playbook. It does cover remote working and how to best optimize that, as well as how to look after employee wellness. BeyondCOVID.COSA, as I mentioned, we'll be releasing the playbook on the 1st, and included in there will be the detailed results from the survey as well. And thank you so much for having us on the show, Maseko. It's an important message as a business grassroots movement that we want to get out there.
It's only a pleasure. Thank you very much, Mr. Lings Naidoo, Director for Red Flank.